Hey everyone, it's Megan Wise at the Portfolio Profit Podcast. I'm super excited. Today is a really big day because we are not only in our brand new studio, we are announcing a great addition, a leader, an investment leader to a portfolio, and our managing broker, Jim Stone.
Hello,
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for, jumping in and coming back home to the Keller Williams family.
Well, that's where I started, so
I know.
it's kind of crazy.
When did you start? What month did you, or year?
Oh, gosh. It would have been 90, 99.
Oh my gosh.
Something like
So
that.
I'd love to hear a little bit about your background so everyone can understand how much knowledge you have and how excited we are to get it out to the world.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
I was in the residential land development business for many years. Was vice president there and handled marketing, sales, land acquisition.
Okay.
Dealt with a lot of the builders in town, both production and custom. Honestly, did presentations to all the real estate offices around Indianapolis, promoting our new subdivisions that we would have coming up. And so I know a lot of agents in town. It was an easy move for me once the market turned, and really in 2009 or so.
You left that development.
I left the development business at that point. I was actually
that was a smart pivot.
Well, it was kind of the only pivot.
Only pivot.
I mean, the market had, we went from developing a large number of lots a year, and moving a lot of lots to very minimal amount.
Yeah.
And a lot of developers, a lot of us had a rough time then.
Yeah.
So my next move was, just logical. I was a principal broker at my development company, since 99. So my next move was just into the real estate business, and it began with Keller Williams.
So cool.
So it's kind of, coming back home.
Coming back home, we say.
So since that time, I was with a couple other brokerages, and most recently came over, and I'm just excited. You and I have known each other for
15 years, we think.
15 years,
Almost
we think.
16.
Yeah. And so I've seen you grow.
That's really cool.
As an agent, and it's been impressive. And you've always been a wonderful person, not just a great agent, but so when we talked and the opportunity came up, I'm looking at another 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be active, very active, and use my knowledge in the business over the years to help people.
Use your brain in more challenging different ways.
To help people. Not only just in assisting agents with tough deals or questions, but in the land acquisition business or land development or selling, buying. There's so many different aspects of land, which comes first nature to me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because then when we got together and we did a little training session, I had no idea that,
so many people
had no idea.
Yes.
And no information or no idea how to, deal with a land transaction.
That's right.
So anyway, but the opportunity there is great, So
and
looking forward.
I love that we've always been friends because we were on the same real estate group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, and we had a great experience there, winning awards and being the best. And it's so cool because I was like a baby newbie and you were the seasoned one, and I would ask you questions. And I always remembered you always being willing to help. And like sometimes in real estate, it's hard to find a mentor or someone willing to answer the phone or willing to help.
Right.
So I feel our portfolio mindset is always pick up the phone and ask. Somebody will always answer and always help. And your niche of like land development and deals is just, I feel like, is really hard to know the ins and outs, and you know it for so much from all the different angles of being a developer, being a builder, working with them, selling for them, developing for them, and then buying and selling land.
Right.
And so it's really neat because us talking about all this, it brought you in for training to help the crew that I had with January of 2024. You came in and taught. Yeah. And you actually inspired one of our teammates, Shauna O'Brien. She had a land listing coming up. Yeah. You guys talked. You helped her price, talked it all out, and the first weekend she got multiple offers, and she was just thrilled because realtors who want to do well, they want to do right by their clients, but they've never been taught on land. No brokerage that I know teaches directly on land, and so Shauna was like, "Oh my gosh, Jim helped so much, and I crushed it. My sellers are so happy, right?" And that was a cool experience for us.
Yeah, it was a great experience for me when Shauna got back to me and to let me know. hey, I just want to let you know, I got multiple offers on this and, got a better price from my seller. And so I mean, it's
fulfilling.
Yeah, it is. And it's hard, there's so many little things that I know that most agents don't about, what you need to look into land.
Yep.
Before you find out your seller's goals and or your buyer's goals.
Yes.
There's so many little things about
drainage
and utilities and, sewer and this,
variance,
yes,
easements.
Yeah. Zoning. What's a zoning? Is it in a floodplain? Is it not in a floodplain?
I don't think most realtors don't know any of these things.
No,
honestly.
And they don't know where to look.
Correct.
So, GIS maps. I mean, that's the great place to go because you can use the different layers within GIS to find out pretty much anything you need to know.
But if you don't understand what you're looking at, how do you take the knowledge off the GIS map and explain it to your client?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's where our magic's going to be is next year is working through a land certification program where we are able to provide the necessary tools, the education, the curriculum of how to buy land and how to sell land based off the different acreages and based off of the different zonings.
Right.
And I think that program that we're working on to be coming in 2025
that'd be great.
Is going to be awesome. And we already have so many portfolio brokers have been leaning into wanting this, and that's why we thought, let's just do this.
Right.
And it's awesome because Keller Williams has a international land division that we've already plugged and played into.
Right.
So the opportunity came, and now it just keeps growing. For us.
With the national, and talking with those guys at KW in Texas on the land group, I mean, it was interesting to hear. Now they working at a little different scale. In Texas.
They do. What thousands and thousands
they're
of
working on a
acres.
7,000 acre parcel. So average deals 2-3 million. But here you're still working. I told Ben, I told him, I said, our parcels, they can be anywhere from 5. All the way up to 200-300.
Yeah.
We very rarely see any 500+ acre deals around, in the Indy 9-county market. But still, you're working with, 80, 100, 200 acre deals. And there's such huge growth here in central Indiana that, the opportunities are really huge for somebody that, we're working with farmers and land.
Yes.
Developers. I mean, developers and builders are looking. I mean, they need lots on the ground, and to do that, they need ground.
And so you go door knock, you call your sphere, you talk to the farmers, right?
Right.
There's this one aspect of what we do in terms of finding those lots in that land. But I think there's so much money and wealth in land because we're not making more of it.
No.
Right?
No, it is itself. Everything starts with the land.
Everything.
I mean, everything. I mean, you got a bare piece of land. I mean, that's where this office building came from.
Exactly.
I mean, and one of the things I got out of the guys out of Texas is being able to be involved in a land transaction. If it's not an investor, if it's a potential builder, developer, et cetera, is to keep the transaction moving. Not only just the land transaction, but then working with the builder. Working with the developer, helping the developer find a builder, an end user for that product. So interesting. That means it's just land. There's so many different ways to go with it. Yeah.
I remember we went to lunch and you just kept talking. I was like, tell me more, tell me more. Remember? And I just thought, what you have, it comes so easy to you. Just like for me, I love pricing and negotiations, and that comes easy to me, and pricing and sales for residential homes. You have that for land and development plus 15 years.
Right.
So we're sitting there and you're going, this price per square foot was $22,000, but I know it's going to be 34, and I sold it for 34,000.
Right.
And I made all these people this money because you knew to hold.
Well, exactly. And I mean, you might be buying land for an investment. You might be buying, in which case you're looking at, 5-10 years down the road. You need to know where the growth is going, if you're doing that. So there's so many different aspects of the land deal, which I love talking about it.
Yeah,
I
you're
just
good
do
at it. Well, and you're passionate. It's like how I get passionate about helping and coaching on real estate.
Right.
You feel the same way about land, and it's very similar. And you don't need to go retire, right?
No.
You're a biker. You're not a golfer.
Right.
We don't want you to retire quite yet.
Yeah.
We want you to take this land info, and like everyone was eating it up. Allie, we did another training. We Zoomed.
Right.
Like there's just so many people who were calling you and saying, "Hey, can you help?" And I even had my own land.
Right.
In Fishers that I asked you to look at, and you gave me a bunch of great advice for my sellers. And so even after 16 years of selling, I'm still calling somebody else for advice on something I know I don't know exactly all the things.
Well, and that's it with real estate. I mean, we never know it all. Okay, I don't care how long you've been doing this.
That's right.
There's something new comes up in every deal, every transaction. You know, not every deal, but there's always something new.
Always something.
And that's where one of the reasons I wanted to join your group, honestly, was because of the fact that people do work together.
Yeah.
You know, and help each other.
Yep.
I mean,
I love it.
That's why I wanted to be a part of it, because I want to help the younger agents.
Yep.
You know, with what knowledge I do have, in any way, shape, or form I can.
Same.
And I think your agents all, in being in some of the meetings, they all work together.
Yeah.
You know, share vendors, share experiences, and you know, which the ultimate goal is we're successful and our buyers and sellers are happy.
Yeah, and if we have to lean into two people in our group to ask what happened with that experience so we can share that, that's what we do. Yeah, tell us a little bit about, so I like to tell people they should flirt with Portfolio and come check us out and come to our meetings and you did that a couple times.
Well, and
to see if it was a good experience for you.
Well, and you know, it's low key. I mean, it's not
it is low key.
You know, and the interesting thing is when I came in, I was like, oh, wow, that guy's with Tucker. Well, that guy. You know,
that guy,
Yeah, and I was like, oh, well, that's interesting, because you never really told me that. You just said, hey, come on in and just, you know, chill and hang out and see what we're about.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked. I just really enjoyed the camaraderie, the fact there's no pressure, you know, especially coming in. You know, if you like it, great. If it's not your cup of tea, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know, but check it out. It's worth checking it out.
Thank you. And I feel like our culture has grown so much. We've had to move spaces 3 times because we keep growing.
Right.
And that's really cool. And it's happened organically because of that meeting is the challenges, the wins, the losses. And then everyone's listening like, whatever happened with that one? And, and then doing case studies about land or appraisals that people are loving. I think the hands-on high-level training that leaders like us can provide.
Right.
Because like, why sit on all this knowledge we have? Let's just give it away.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, I love to give it away.
Yeah, I told the team early on, I said, when I would ever have a question, he'd go, you know what, I'm going to get back to you by tomorrow, and let me look it up. And then you'd send this perfect paragraph of all the details and anything I needed to know, like within an hour, within a day. And
well, it's just
because it's easy to use, so it didn't feel like work.
It's not work. I enjoy doing it,
and
I enjoy helping other people. So, and it takes me 10 minutes to figure out, you know, the deal in, what was it, Shelbyville.
Shelbyville, yeah.
Well, I've never done anything in Shelbyville, but you know, it's not rocket science. No. It's about, you've got to look at the properties, pull the comps, get on the GIS maps. You know, you do your homework on what's there, what's not, and boom, you know, you just come up with the answer.
And I love that you're going to teach this, and I'm going to help promote you teaching this, because as a former teacher, I can do the curriculum. I understand building out the curriculum, and we are working together to create this awesome certification program.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Go through it and you learn from Jim, specifically from Jim, from all of his 30 years experience developing land, buy, sell, how to price, how to comp, and then all the issues that nobody talks to you about, like the utilities, the easements, like the zoning. Can you change the zoning? What's a variance? So all of those things aren't taught at real estate school.
Oh no, that's hard knocks.
That's hard knocks. So Portfolio is going to have a certification program. You're leading it. And this has just been a really cool experience. The opportunity just keeps growing.
Yes.
And I'm so excited for you to do that, and so thankful because I feel like you watched me grow up in this industry.
I did. And you've done a great job. And that, you know, and you're helping others. You're helping the others too. You know, other people coming in. You help them. You know, and that's what I want to do. So I think it's a particularly on the land side, since that's what I know. You know the housing side.
I do know the houses pretty well. I love the house stuff, but you know the land. So together we're going to just take this world by storm, teach anybody that's willing to. You don't have to be with Portfolio. Just come and learn from Jim, because the knowledge is incredible, and I can speak after 15 and a half years experience that I know that you are so willing to provide it, and it's expertise.
No, and it's no skin off my back. I enjoy doing it.
I'm so excited. And as we launch Portfolio, you're going to be our managing broker.
Yes.
So that means anyone in Portfolio is going to call you and say, what about this? What about this? And you're happy about it because you have so much experience of the highs and lows of a transaction.
Yeah, there's not much, I don't think, but there's again, you never know everything in this business.
I love that.
So yeah, but I enjoy helping people, and I've been through a lot of transactions, good, bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
But there's a way to get through any transaction. My goal is it's a win-win situation. Get through the transaction and make sure everybody gets what they ultimately wanted out of the transaction.
Exactly.
Whether it be the buyer, seller, the other agents.
Yes.
I mean, walking away from a transaction and everybody is smiling on their face.
It's the best, isn't it?
It is a great day.
It is.
It really is.
And that's what we love our job is because we know it feels like a win-win.
Right.
And you don't want to walking away someone mad at the closing table.
No.
You want everyone to feel like they won a little bit.
Right.
And that's how the world should work.
Right.
Right.
And it's about everybody doing their job,
Yes,
and
that's right.
And sometimes people don't do their jobs, and sometimes you have to
clean that up.
Step in and clean it up so that everybody
And not get angry about it.
And be
professional.
Exactly, be professional and take care of it.
Yeah.
And get a deal done where everybody walks away again with a smile on their face.
100%.
Because that is again a happy day for everybody.
Everybody, good karma.
Yeah.
And it's what we're going to be teaching our brokers.
Right.
So thank you so much for taking this leap with us. We are all so happy and excited for you to join us and bring your knowledge. And if you guys are interested, our land certification program will be coming in 2025. Send an email and we'll make sure you're on our waiting list. The first one's going to be a closed room, but eventually it will be available to everybody as long as you're a realtor. So stay tuned. We're so thankful for Jim Stone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And sky's the limit.
That's right.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.